What if I told you that everything you've believed about olive oil might be outdated, or even wrong? The science is shifting, and olive oil's once untouchable status is under fire. Stick around, because we're about to bust some powerful myths, and your health might depend on it. Okay, my name's Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach. This is part of my question and answer series, The Olive Oil Reckoning: Why Science is Quietly Rewriting the Rules. Alright, let's get to the question. This quality framework is incredibly practical, but I'm curious about the bigger picture. Given everything we've discussed about olive oil's recent dietary introduction, oxidative instability, and the fraud in the marketplace, what do you see as the future trajectory for olive oil in evidence based nutrition? Are we heading toward a reckoning with its overhyped status? Well, yeah, that's the $1,000,000 question, and it reveals how close we are to broader nutritional reckoning. Olive oil, long upheld as a sacred cow of healthy eating, is positioned for a significant recalibration in evidence based nutrition. Let's project the trajectory based on emerging science, historical correction patterns, and evolving consumer awareness. Okay? Start with one. The future of olive oil in evidence based nutrition. From holy grail to contextualized fat. We're entering a phase where olive oil will likely be demoted from panacea to conditionally useful tool. Reframed as a relatively neutral fat, not inherently disease preventing, but less harmful than processed alternatives when fresh and unheated, and considered valuable in specific cultural or culinary contexts, not as a universal prescription. Think use if needed, not as a default. This parallels how red wine, previously praised for resveratrol, is now viewed with tempered enthusiasm. Moderation, context, and trade-offs do matter. Okay? The oxidative risk awareness will increase. As understanding of lipid peroxidation, mitochondrial health, 4-HNE, MD, and other oxidative stress markers enters mainstream clinical research, the heating and storage instability of olive oil will become a clinical concern, not just niche biochemical trivia points. We're likely to see more studies measuring aldehydes in blood and tissues, trials comparing oxidized versus fresh oils in metabolic and cognitive disorders, and recommendations that delineate safe preparation methods. Cooking with olive oil may be discouraged in clinical settings, especially in aging, neurodegeneration, and mitochondrial disease contexts. Okay? 3. Metabolic individualization will matter more. The future of nutrition is precision-guided. Olive oil suitability will increasingly depend on a person's oxidative burden, the degree of mitochondrial flexibility they have, and insulin sensitivity, fat oxidation capacity, and inflammatory markers. For someone who's lean, insulin sensitive, and active, olive oil may be fine as a minor fat source. But someone who's obese, insulin resistant, or chronically inflamed, olive oil may displace healing fats and add oxidation load. So we'll move from everyone should eat olive oil to it depends on your metabolic context and preparation method. Okay. 4. There's growing consumer skepticism, plus fraud exposure will deflate the halo. With growing awareness of widespread adulteration and mislabeling, the short shelf life of polyphenol potency, the marketing distortions from Predimed and Mediterranean studies, will likely see regulatory crackdowns, especially in the EU and US. Consumers shift to local transparent sources and a move toward higher trust animal fats like ghee, tallow, and suet, especially in biohacker and regenerative health circles. Olive oil will still sell, but not with the blind trust it has enjoyed for decades. Okay. 5. As the ancestral lens continues, we'll reframe it as a supplement, not a staple. As ancestral diets, evolutionary biology, and mitochondrial medicine gain traction, olive oil will be seen more as a modern extract like collagen or fish oil, not a whole food, and a supplementary condiment rather than a foundational fuel. In this frame, suet, marrow, butter, ghee, and egg yolk will reclaim their rightful place as metabolically superior fat sources. Olive oil becomes a secondary accent, not a main act. Okay? And finally, when we get to the bottom line, we're heading for an olive oil reckoning. The era of olive oil as an unquestioned health symbol is ending. In its place, we're headed toward contextual nuance, biochemical scrutiny, cultural and culinary respect without dogma, and a return to animal-based fats, as metabolically and evolutionary aligned choices. Olive oil's future isn't extinction. It's redefinition. Not a miracle, not a menace, just another tool with trade-offs. And that's the trajectory real science always takes, away from ideology toward integration. So, thanks for watching. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comments. We're building a community here designed to help you answer the questions you want to know. So if there's something you'd like me to cover, please put it in there, and I'll get working on it right away for you. And as always, if you haven't done so, like, subscribe, share this video with someone you like, or maybe if you don't like it, it's going to help a bunch of people. So let's spread the word. Thank you very much.